Reggie and Alamari. Is that correct? Alamari? Alamari. Reggie. So the officer, my name is Officer Jabez. Okay, so the officer went over some very important history about our people, right? Things that we never knew. Things according to the Bible that describes us, who they say, which is the Israelites, as the greatest people on the planet.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to convey to both of you, that you two are the greatest people on the face of the planet.
That's right.
You guys aren't African American. You're not African American. You're not Negro. You're not black. You're the Israelites.
Right.
So we're gonna go into Deuteronomy 1:1. Have y'all heard about the prophet Moses? Have you heard about Moses in the Bible? You heard about Moses, Reggie? Alamari? Kinda? Okay, let me refresh your memory. Have you heard about a man parting the Red Sea? You heard about that? That's Moses in the Bible. He's an Israelite.
Right.
His job was to free us from slavery from the Egyptians, who they called the real Africans, because we're not Africans.
That's right.
Although we may look alike, we're not the same people.
That's right.
That's one of the biggest lies that we've been taught on the face of the earth. Okay? So now I'm going to show you a little bit more of the history about who Moses was speaking to, who God was speaking to. Was he speaking to all people? No. We're going to show you that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
It says all Israel. Did it say Americans? Did it say Africans?
Right.
Did it say Chinese?
Right.
Did it say European?
Bring it out.
Did it say that? No, it said what?
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Right.
All Israel. So now we're getting the subject matter of who the Bible is talking to, okay? So there should be no confusion on who this Bible's about.
That's
You
it.
understand? Okay? So y'all see that, right? That Moses is speaking to, and God is speaking to all Israel.
Right.
Not everybody, okay? So we're trying to prove to you that you too are from one of these tribes. Do you guys recognize yourself as one of these tribes, Alamar and Reggie? Where do you see yourself, Alamar? Oh, Manessa, Cubans.
That's right.
So would your father be a Cuban? Is your father Cuban? Your grandfather, from your father's side? Your mother's side, okay. What about you? Judah? So would your father be identified as African American? Your father? Okay, so now you said your grandfather's side on your mother's side, right? So now we're gonna show you out of the Bible that it goes by the father.
Right.
Okay, have you heard about that? It goes by who you are, who your father is.
That's right.
So now there's no confusion. We don't have to go to get DNA testing, things like that America provides, the so-called white man. We trust in God, we love God, right? So we're gonna go based on what he said to make everything easy for us, you understand?
Right.
So now let's see what it says.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18.
Bring it out.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and declared their pedigrees after their families, by the house of their fathers.
See that? They declared their pedigrees. You know what a pedigree is? A pedigree is a lineage or a line or where you come from, you understand? But it says by the house of the families, by what?
By the house of their fathers.
Did it say mothers?
House of their fathers.
Your fathers. It's very easy, right? So now I'm gonna ask you, you said your father is African American, so you're from the tribe of Judah. So Alamari, what is your father, if you know? You don't know, have you met your father? You met your father? Okay. Very good. How would you identify him? You wouldn't know? Let's see, is he white? Is he Chinese? You couldn't? Okay, well that's fine. That's perfectly fine, because right now, if you can't know who your father is, we go based on what we go through. You understand? What the Israelites went through is how we identify who we are today. If we can't figure out who our father is, it's no big deal. The Bible will answer that for us, of how we can identify as the sons and daughters of God.
Right.
Remember it was speaking to all Israel, right?
Right.
So now, all Israel are the sons and daughters of God, okay?
The book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
That's right.
So the spirit that it's talking about is this Bible, the Word of God. So every time we bring out the Word of God, it's a spirit that shows who you are, right? We try to identify with our people based on the scriptures or the Spirit of God, which is this Word. You see that, y'all? So if you can't figure out who your father is, we're gonna bring out identification markers written in the scriptures to prove that we are the Israelites. Okay?
That's right.
So that's what we're going to do. So now we're going to go through some of the blessings and the cursings that the Israelites are going through or not going through. You understand? To prove if we're those people, okay? All right, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1, okay? So we're going to go through the blessings. Let's see if we are a blessed people right now as a nation. Not individually, but as a nation, okay?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So God said, hey, Moses, speak unto the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He said, speak unto them and ask them, Alamari, ask them, Reggie, if you keep these commandments, that the Lord is going to keep you on high above all nations of the people on this planet. You see that? So I'm going to ask you these questions. Are we above all people right now as a nation? When you see this, because look at this. This is a sign just to help you understand who God's talking to. Are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans on top of the nation right now? Are we above all people right now?
Bring it out.
Think about it.
Bring it out.
Money-wise, the way we get treated, no, right? You said no. What do you think, Alamari? No, we don't.
That's right.
But we know who is right now. The so-called white man has everything, right?
Right.
He provides us with anything, but he's not an Israelite. That's the difference, though. I'm going to show you that he's not God's people. Because would God's people do this? Would they put a people in slavery like this? No.
That's right.
Is that love? Is that love? Is that God's love? No, it's not. It's not God's love. Because the so-called white man did that to us, you understand? Because we stopped keeping God's commandments. Okay? So now, y'all both see that we're not above all people right now, right? It's talking about the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. So now, we're going to go to the curse. Let's see if we're under a curse, right? Just to show you that you are an Israelite according to the Bible, okay?
That's right.
You as well, Reggie.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So God said, Moses, speak unto the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the children of Israel, that if they did not obey or listen to do all the commandments in this Bible, God's laws, that curses would come upon us.
Bring it out.
So now, I'm asking you, Reggie, is curse a good thing or a bad thing? Bad thing.
That's
Very good. What do you think, Alamar? Bad thing. So because we just read a blessing that we will be above all nations. But God says if you don't keep the commandments that he will put curses upon you. So again, I'm trying to show you both that what's written in here should fit those people that they call Israelites in the Bible, right? And it should fit us. We're going to show you that it fits our people as a whole, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So now we're going to get another curse, okay? Another curse to prove who we are.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long.
So Reggie and Alamar, it says, thy sons and daughters shall be given unto another people. Shall be given unto another people. So now Reggie and Alamar, take a look at this. Because out of the scriptures, out of our Bible, it says that our sons and daughters will be given unto another people. You see this right here? Take a look at this image. The Bible is showing us real history right here. That our sons and daughters will be given unto another people. So in school, do you guys get taught about how we went to slavery?
You gave me 6.
Have y'all got taught that? Was it kind of? Okay. The so-called white man selling us and putting us on slavery, right?
That's right.
It says thy sons and thy daughters. Didn't our children go into slavery?
Bring it out.
Got sold to our enemies? Did their children get sold onto their enemies?
Bring it out.
Did you see that? Did they get sold? Did their sons and daughters get sold?
Yeah.
The so-called white man? That's the question. They got sold? I don't see their people getting sold.
Right.
Do you see their people? No. Throughout history, you won't see that.
Right.
It's our people.
That's right.
And God says the Israelites, thy sons and thy daughters will be sold unto, will be
given unto another people.
given to another people. So now, based on that, does the other nations fit that, or do the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans fit that?
Bring it out.
That's the question.
That's
Very good,
right.
very good, Reggie and Alamari. Very good. So now, again, now we're going to give you another one. We're going to give you verse 46 just to show you.
Verse 46.
Bring it out.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
Now stop right there. It says, they shall be upon thee for a sign. It's talking about the curses.
Right.
Just like we said, the bad things are going to be upon thee for a sign.
Right.
So I'm going to ask you, Alamari, what does a sign mean? Oh, it's okay. Reggie, what does a sign mean? Reggie will help you out. That's your brother right there.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, things that tells you where it goes or shows you something, right? A sign. So again, remember your spirit has to bear witness to what happened to us, right? To show that you're the actual sons and daughters of God.
That's right.
The best people on the planet.
Right.
So these curses would be a sign to identify that we're God's chosen people. Okay? But the so-called white man doesn't fit that.
Right.
The Chinese don't fit that because they didn't go through that.
That's right.
The Arabs, the Russians, none of them went through what we went through.
That's right.
Y'all see that? So now, keep reading.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
And for a wonder. So now, wondering would be a sign to us, right?
Right.
Don't you ever wonder why we get shot down in the streets?
Right.
Do you guys ever wonder that?
Bring it out.
Why in the news that we see our people getting killed unjustly by cops? You understand?
Come on.
Who's supposed to protect us?
Right.
Y'all see that? So that would be a wonder. Why? A wonder, a big wonder would be, why did we go through slavery? Why did we go through slavery? Don't y'all ever wonder why?
Bring it out.
Why our skin color is hated so much? Don't you ever wonder why that happened? Why? That's one thing. God said it will be a sign to show that you're an Israelite. Because the so-called white man doesn't wonder.
Right.
Doesn't wonder about, okay, I'm white, but you know, I don't go through anything.
Right.
You know, I'm good.
Bring it out.
I'm good. So he doesn't feel cursed.
That's right.
Our people do.
Teach out.
Our people do. Okay? So now it say it will be for a wonder.
Right.
And upon thy seed forever.
Upon thy seed forever. So when it comes to the seed, it's talking about our children.
Right.
Aren't you guys children? We're actually all children too.
Right.
It says thy seed, upon thy seed forever, meaning through generations.
That's right.
That we're going to see these signs and wonders upon our people. Each generation. Because at every point in history, we'll be in a slave state.
Right.
Because we stopped keeping God's commandments.
Right.
That's the problem. We got to start keeping God's commandments. Because we stopped and forgot who we are. That's why Officer went over, remember the Sabbath day, right?
Right.
Because that's our true heritage. Because we like to think our heritage is like rap and twerking, you know, going to the club, doing drugs, world star hip hop. Those things are our heritage or our culture. It's not.
Right.
It's not. We're princesses and princes.
That's right.
That's what's written in the Bible. So now we're gonna show you our heritage. We're gonna show you what our heritage is, okay?
You know.
And I want to get something real quick about how you said you like the Avengers, right? You like the Avengers? You like hero movies, superhero movies? You like superhero movies? Action? Like action? See, he said he like Avengers, which is an action movie, right? The thing is, Spider-Man, the thing is, God's chosen people, we are those heroes. We're the real heroes when we come back to the commandments of God.
Bring it out.
So, when we keep the commandments, guess what? We're becoming heroes.
That's right.
You understand? That's a big deal right there. So now let's get the heritage, what heritage means.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for an heritage.
So the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, our true heritage, Alamari and Reggie, is the commandments of God. That's our true heritage. That's what gives us life or the power to be a hero. You understand? By keeping these laws. That's what we want to be. That's what we're out here. Right now, We're going through the scriptures to give you life. Wouldn't that, if we're going through the Bible and showing you what life actually is, wouldn't that make us heroes because we're trying to preserve your life?
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't you want to be a hero?
Bring it out.
Don't you want to be a hero? This Bible gives instructions on how to become real superheroes.
That's right.
So now, okay, so far, do you see yourself in this Bible? Since you fit these curses, right? Our people, you see yourself, right? So what would that make you? Would that make you African American, or would that make you an Israelite? An Israelite.
That's right.
You got at least one of these tribes. You might be one of these tribes just based on how you feel that the Spirit bears witness with your spirit. You understand? That's a beautiful thing. So now we're gonna go through we're going to show you Proverbs 7:2, how important it is to keep the Sabbath day. How important it is for our women to adorn themselves in modest apparel. That's one thing we're going to go over real quick. You got to go to work, right? Okay, we're going to show you a few laws, okay? A few laws that are going to help us become those heroes.
Right.
Those heroes that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
David was a hero.
Right.
Judith was a hero.
Right.
Judith is a woman in this Bible that helped our people when we were struggling.
Right.
You understand? Those are people that we never hear about.
Right.
Women that done great things. Men that done great things. Christ.
Right.
Christ. Did y'all know Christ is actually black according to the Bible?
Bring it out.
You knew that? Did you know that? Oh, I never knew that. But in the Bible it's written that Christ, a real superhero, is black.
That's right.
Don't you see in movies? We never see a real black superhero movie. Black Panther was the last person, right? But guess what? Did he not? He died didn't he die? He died in real life. He died. You know, that's the sad thing right there.
Right.
You know, understand? So we are gonna show you what life is.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 7 and verse 2.
Bring it out.
My son, keep my words and keep my commandments and live.
Right. It says, keep my commandments and live. So God is instructing us to keep his commandments and live. Not just his sons, but also his daughters. You understand? Right. We got to keep the commandments and live. So now we're going to go through some various commandments. Because y'all see that you're Israelites according to the Bible, right?
Right.
Do you see that, Reggie? You see that so far?
That's right.
Very good.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. Iuic has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. Iuic, we deliver the truth.